Welcome to The Forge Focus, a podcast through The Forge, where we focus on our mission of enhancing manhood through our three pillars of positive imagery, quality fellowship, and service to others. These three pillars were created to help fight toxic masculinity and promote a healthy aspect of manhood. Here we will have personal discussions with men in the community and beyond who exemplify this mission and can share their experiences and perspectives in efforts to make us all just a little better than we were before listening in. I mean, hey, let's face it, we can all learn from each other, right? And now, your host, Ebony McNeil. Prepare to be forged.
Hey, y'all. What's up? This is Ebony McNeil from The Forge. Thanks for coming back for another episode, our episode 14 right now. I am pleased to bring this gentleman here to the podcast, and I'm sure he's going to sprinkle some gems on us. When him and I spoke, he hit me with some stuff that still resonates with me to this day. So I want to introduce to you, he is the investor mindset coach, and he's also the founder of the Agent Tour community. A lot of people know him by his nickname. We call him Mr. Save a Home. I'm pleased to introduce Navid Moosa. Thanks for coming on, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Just to make sure, it's Save a Home.
Yes, home.
Home. Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
We gotta make sure that's on there.
Just want to make sure that's out there. Thanks. I appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you very much.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming. So let's jump right into explaining what you do so people understand why you're here and why you're such an interesting gentleman. Explain to me what you do and how you got to where you are.
Sure. So the Agent Tour community, as you had mentioned, is basically, so I'm a licensed real estate agent. I'm a realtor. There's a lie we're sold, which is that we're independent contractors. So how independent am I, though, if I need someone to sell a house? Someone provides me the product. How independent am I if I need to find a buyer to buy that home?
Okay.
I'm still relying on other people. I'm not independent. They have a product. They want to sell their home. They come to me. They want to buy a home. They come to me. I'm not really independent. Right. So that's how I looked at it. Right. From a mentality standpoint. And I'm like, well, we should be entrepreneurs. As an agent, as an independent contractor, period, we should be an entrepreneur. So that's why I trademarked the phrase Agent Tour, agent and entrepreneur.
Okay. And
so it was like, and right now with the whole, like the settlement, the class action, with our commissions and stuff like that being attacked, which is fine. I'm like, you can attack my commissions all you want, but if I'm providing my own product, you can't say shit to me.
Right.
So by providing my own inventory and teaching other real estate agents, listen, you can still have maintain your book of business, and let's teach you how to flip a home. Let's teach you how to become a landlord. Let's teach you how to do other real estate investing strategies while still maintaining a book of business of being an agent, traditionally speaking. And so once I thought about this, I thought it was just me. And then I started talking to other real estate agents, and they were all saying the same thing, saying, man, it's slow. The rates are high. The prices are this. The economy is this. And now I'm like, you realize you guys are stuck because you're making yourself stuck. Okay. If you provide your own product, if you go buy the house yourself and flip it yourself and list it yourself, you don't need to rely on other people to go bring your business. You're creating your own business this way.
Wow, I never thought of it like that.
And not many people do, and they don't teach it that way in real estate school. Real estate school is just simple. Hey, if everyone was going to buy a home, his wife, whatever, was to sell a house, whatever it is, show them how to do that for them. And then you just get your commission check and be gone, get to the next client. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you're equipping me with this knowledge of how to help somebody else, I'm going to help myself then too. So now I can list my own property as the seller as well, get a commission check, and get the check of the profits when it sells of the property itself. That's two ways to make an income. So now let's take the step further. Let's create an impactful way. If I have a struggling agent that I know, hey, listen, why don't you list the house for me? You can get the commission check. I don't need it because I'm getting this bigger check over here anyways. It's going to help them out, put food on their table.
Right.
They don't teach that stuff.
Wow.
And the more I got talking to people, other agents, they were like, yo, we never looked at it that way. Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds sort of like, I'm trying to picture the person, but I remember when in boxing, they sort of started doing that. Like, say they would be the boxer and the promoter.
Yeah.
So then you're getting the purse for the boxer, but you're also getting all the money from promoting. So it's sort of like you.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about this other than you. I've never heard. I have a lot of friends who are in real estate and things like that, but I've never heard the term you're creating your own inventory, which is crazy to me when you think about it. When you're talking about with houses having an inventory, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow.
So what made you get into this world? Like, because it is something so different than the average person, I'm sure it took a different mindset for you to do this. What made you decide to start looking at investing that way and start wanting to teach others that?
So, I got stuck, essentially, financially stuck. I was with my son. I was just being a regular real estate agent but I was doing a lot of foreclosure homes as far as representing a bank, being the agent for the bank. So what they call an REO agent. So now I'm out there, I'm representing the bank as the seller of these foreclosed homes. And my son's with me. He's not in school, and we have to find creative ways to get into these properties. So I have my son, and I'm like, hey, my fat ass can't get through this window, but your skinny ass can. Boop, go through the window. He gets in the window. He comes opens the door for me. So now he lets me to the house. I'm in. I'm taking all my pictures for the bank. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So we get in the car. He's like, Daddy, I earned a reward. I'm like, absolutely you did. He wanted some chicken nuggets from McD's. I'm like, all right, cool. We go by. They're 99 cents. I didn't have 99 cents. I legit didn't have 99 cents. Not in my pocket, not in my bank account. I didn't have 99 cents.
And how long ago was this?
He's 16, 17. So this is maybe 15 years ago, give or take.
No, wow.
And I didn't have 99 cents. Anywhere. Not even in the ashtray of the car.
We'll go into how drastically different that is from you now, but wow, 99 cents.
Yeah, so I didn't have that.
Okay.
So I was like, I suck as a father. I suck as a man. I suck as a provider. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I got mad at first at everybody else. I blamed everybody else. I blamed the industry, the lack of inventory, the realtor. I blamed everybody, everyone I could, right? But I'm like, no, it's me. I have to change my mindset.
Okay.
Right. So when that hit, I'm like, this is bull. This is bull.
Yeah. I mean, so when you did that, what was the first step you took?
So it was, okay, I have a 400 plus credit score. I got no money in the bank. Who's going to loan me money to buy my own first investment property? And I've seen, now this is years ago, it was before YouTube and all that kind of stuff, whatever. So it was a long, long time ago. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm like, okay, what can I do to get someone to trust me with their funds? And then another mindset shift. I had to change, because money's a fickle thing. We all know this. I had to change from thinking I'm asking for money, and I have to put myself in a mindset of I'm giving somebody an opportunity to invest their money. So think about this. If I say, hey, can I get 100 grand from you to buy this house? I'm going to flip it. Maybe we make like 50 G's off of it. We'll split it 50-50. Like, okay. Or, listen, I know you have some money set aside. I have an opportunity over here to take some of your funds that you have for a retirement account. I can put into this property. I've done the due diligence. I've got the comps. I've got the contractors. I've spoken to the township already for the permits and everything. I have everything in order. And I want to do some business with you. Would you be interested in growing your money by 10%? I'm asking for the same thing.
Yeah.
But do you see how it's me asking for money versus me giving you an opportunity?
Right.
I had to get into that. So it's all, and that developed my second course, my Mindset Investor course, right? Because I started to realize I can teach you and anyone in this room how to invest, but to pull that trigger, to sign that check, to sign that paperwork, to go out and actually get the deal, there's a mentality behind that has to be there. And so that's where the Mindset Investor course comes in. And I said, okay, let me start looking at that portion of it and teaching that portion.
So you developed that pretty much on your own?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you listen to other people. And
well, yeah.
And is it, no, yeah. You were saying the right thing. Like, I'm sure it was pieces of other things you had heard and learned, but you developed that whole mindset and developed a course to teach that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it was like, you hear a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you're kind of like, this is good. This is not good. This is good. This is not good. And I just said, I like these good things. And this is what I'm learning from these good things. And I'm learning these items, these knowledge, these, bits and pieces here. Mm-hmm. Let me create something, because and my own personal opinion is, I think if we live in our world, we think everybody knows our world. right? So if I live in your world, right, like you have the Forge, to you, you'll probably realize, well, everyone knows what I know. But then you and I sat in at lunch. I'm like, yo, wait, whoa, you got something. You know, wait, what? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to me, I thought everyone knew what I knew. And the reality is, more I talk about it, they're like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? And I heard enough of wait, what to realize I need to create something.
Sure.
That's what I did, yeah.
Well, it's crazy. Like I said, I work in banking and in finance of some sort for 20 years. I have other friends who do investing and et cetera, et cetera. But even as soon as you said about having an inventory and you have your own product, I've never heard of that when you're talking about real estate. So right there, wait, what? That's exactly what it was. So with the mindset coaching, tell me a little bit about that. I know when we spoke, correct me if I'm wrong, you had talked about the 4 Ps.
Yes.
Dive into that.
Yeah. So that's it's called the MDTA method. So it's mindset, discipline, time and communication management, and then action. Okay. So it's the 4 pillars of success, if you will. And it's something that I've developed over the years that I've realized no matter what you're doing, whether it's real estate, taco trucks, dealership, doesn't matter. These 4 pillars are something that can build, even your home can build your foundation off of having a strong marriage, having a strong business ethic, and a workforce. So with the first pillar, the mindset, is just what we just spoke about, right? You need to have a certain mentality to do certain things. Because how many of us have said, man, I can't wait to get my income tax check. And when I get my income tax check, I'm going to go pay these bills off. And you pay your bills off. And then what happens next year? I can't wait to get income tax check. Come pay these bills back. Because these bills keep, right? Because we haven't trained our mind to be like, hey, listen, we can't rely on the income tax check to pay our bills. But that's what we do that. Right. And so that's the first pillar of understanding your mind, how it works and what we've become accustomed to, good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay.
The second pillar is discipline, right? People get discipline and motivation mixed up. Motivation is just you have watched a video, a 15-second something that said, oh, I'm going to go get off this couch and start training for this 5K. Or I'm going to go ahead and eat clean or whatever, right? But then day 4, day 5 comes in of you eating clean or training and you haven't seen a result in you. That's the motivation is gone.
Okay.
Discipline is, hey, I have a vision of who I want to be a year from now, and I want to be that person. If it takes me a year or 2 years, I want to be that person. So I'm disciplined to do the unappreciative things that I'm going to have to get done to get there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's where discipline comes in. And that's a different motivation. Look, I'm almost 50. And if I started working out now, but I was eating cheeseburgers and hot dogs and French fries for 45 years or 49 years or whatever, how dare I say, because I did 75 hard, that I should have a body that looks like this? Mofo, you just ate burgers and fries for all these years and didn't lift up a single cardio workout.
Yeah.
That's a mistake we make. That's motivation, discipline. That's the difference.
Wow. That's a good explanation for that.
All right. So that's a second pillar. Pillar number 3 is time and communication management. On the surface, time management is very generically speaking, right? Manage your time. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. I think time management is merely a template. It's not something like a 10 commandment, right? It's just imagination. Time management is a template. Hey, listen, my plan is, like we talked about the workouts before the show. We talk about, hey, listen, okay, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I plan to go to the gym from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my rest days, and then active rest on Sundays and Saturdays, right? That's your thing.
Right.
And you have time set. But shit happens. And if Monday at 9:45 you get a call, so-and-so, you got an emergency meeting or attended to this or whatever. Okay, I can't make that. As much as I want to go to the gym, I'm not able to make that gym appointment today. So let me go ahead and take care of this emergency, put this fire out. But let me look at my phone real quick. I'm going to move this appointment over here and I'm going to get this gym workout still in. I don't want to say the normal, the average person, but for the most part, depending where you are mentally, when we do something drastically changing, and it's usually health or financial related. Mm-hmm. When we don't meet one of these time-stamp appointments, what happens? We go back to our old comfort zone. We go back to our comfort zone and be like, yo, man, this wasn't meant. See, this is BS. It wasn't supposed to happen. It's God's will. God said I can't be doing this today. No. Don't leave his name out of this. Number 1. Number 2, you're making a very, very, you're excusing this for yourself, for no one else. Okay. Yeah. This was just a blip. And you have to deal with that blip. If you honestly think change is going to be done like that, my friend, you are in for a very long life. Right?
Yeah, facts.
You're going to be challenged. God, I'm a big religious individual. I'm a practicing Muslim, and patience is one of the key things they teach us. And every time you are faced with a challenge, I tell my kids all the time, this is an opportunity to show people how bad you want this. So when you're hit with that challenge, are you going to man up or buckle down? What are you going to do? Right. So that's your time and communication management piece of it. Right. So the time management is just that. It's a mere template. Something happens, you adjust, you navigate, and you move on, you push through it. The communication side of that management side is now communicating with the proper individuals. If I have an appointment with you at 12 o'clock, right, and we've been booking it to get this done in the books, and I need to communicate that, hey, listen, I can't meet you on this day. I'm sorry, this one really came up, but can we rebook for this set date and time? Instead of saying, yo, man, I can't make it. I'll get back to you later on. Really?
Yeah.
We're men. We're adults. Let's have a conversation like one. I'm sorry, I can't make it. I respect your time, but these are some alternative times. Can you make one of these work? If not, can you please give me alternative times that do work for you?
And I think that's like, when you're saying about appointments, etc., that's the business aspect of it. But I also think that ties in with communication.
Absolutely.
With everyone. Friends, spouse, kids. You know, if like my sons, if they say, hey, Dad, I want to either go here, or can we buy this, or can we do this? I grew up in the area of like, nah, you're good. You know what I mean? But now I realize when I even communicate with them, I usually give them the alternative. Unless it's something where it is just a hard no, which usually isn't the case.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, all right, we'll get it. Football, like, oh, can I get X, Y, and Z, cleats and armband, etc. for football? Okay. You just saw it today. Football doesn't start for 3 months. We're not going to hop on Amazon today and buy it, but you can earn this money and we will get it for you before school. When you provide that alternative, like an alternative appointment, it still shows your commitment to that situation versus just a hard no. Or like you said, I'll blow you off and get back to you, which almost either never happens, or even if it does, you've already made me feel like I'm not that important.
Exactly.
So it's cool that you said that. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump back in. I want you to, because you only went through 3.
Yes.
I want you to go through the 4th one. And then I also want to tie in how you came from, you had mentioned not having 99 cent, not with a 400 plus credit score, to what you are now. Yeah. And how was that with you being a dad, and also what you learned coming up? So I want to talk about the transition of this knowledge and what this means to you as a man. So that's going to be our next topic.
All right.
So you gave us 3 of the 4. So I want you to go back in and elaborate number 4, but then I also want to talk to you about some of the comments about when you said you felt like you failed as a father and a man.
Sure.
So before we do that, go ahead into number 4, because I'm really into this.
So number 4 is action. That's the A, right? So MDTA, A being action, taking action, which is usually where a lot of people fail, personally and professionally. Okay. It's taking that action. We have enough education out there. We're in a great time of information overload, but taking that actual step, it's to me, this is where the discipline also comes in then too. Discipline and action work hand in hand. Your brain is physical. Your mind is not. The mind is what you make, right? Make up your mind. So when your brain and your mind actually have a battle or internal struggle, if you will, that's when action takes place. Because our comfort zone is something that we built. So think about it. If you try to pinch yourself, you can't. It'll be very, very soft pinch. But if I tell you pinch the hardest you can, you're still going to pinch yourself hard, because your brain goes, hey, listen, you're about to hurt yourself. I'm not going to allow you to do that. So I'm not going to allow you to pinch yourself that hard. That's your brain kicking in. It's protecting you. It's creating a comfort zone. But mentally, if you're mentally strong and tough or whatever, we've seen videos of people getting punched and hit and whatever and not make a thing, because their mind says this pain is nothing. And so once we can have that battle internally and the mind defeats the brain, we are creating a new comfort zone. Once and then at that point, then the action steps can actually be taken. Because now you're creating a new zone. You're getting out of your comfort zone. You're taking action to actually take all the knowledge, all these things we've talked about, and put them into place. And you're okay if something doesn't work out the way it's supposed to. because you're mentally strong enough and you're disciplined enough and your mindset is strong. And you're saying, hey, listen, this didn't work out. It's okay. Let me take a couple of steps back. Let me see what exactly didn't. And let me go ahead and hit the reboot button and start over again. Make the proper changes. But that action step is a beautiful step to be in. But statistically speaking, less than 5% of people actually get to that action step.
Wow. Yeah, and you know what? I can see that. I can see that when I'm thinking there's people with great ideas, or there's people with, like I said, they may even take the initial step, but when it's time to pivot or make a turn, they don't do it.
Yeah, it's the fear.
Yeah.
And again, the brain is an amazing piece of equipment that we have, but unfortunately it's flawed. And the fear is what flaws it. But we are strong enough, if we want it, we're strong enough to reprogram it.
Wow. Okay. So, man, I knew I was going to have something to take with me out of this thing. So, when I listened back to something you had said earlier about when you didn't have the 99 cents for your son, and you said the thoughts that went through your head, one of them that stuck with me was you had mentioned that you had failed as a man and failed as a father.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, that meant in your head you had an idea, or you probably still do, of what it means to be a father and what it means to be a man. And I'm sure that translates into what you do business-wise. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on that? Can you explain like the thoughts you had then and how I'm sure those also helped you make moves?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm old school, right? Gen X, as they say now. Quick history. I was born here in the States. My family's from Africa, Uganda. Okay. And they were forced out of that country in 1972 to come here to the States. And I saw my father when he came to this country and we were growing up. I saw him work extremely hard. Like, oh my gosh. He would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, not get home at 6 p.m. every single night. And, you know, what he was doing left and right, left and right. And I would get up with him at 4 o'clock in the morning because I want to have breakfast with him every single morning. So that's where my work ethic came from.
That's
just
awesome.
getting in the morning. So, but I would see he would come home and this man was beat. He'd make tires for trucks and farming equipment. That was his job. And strong dude, right? Big gut, big arms, everything. Old school pops. And I would see him work this way and provide. So I'm one of 7 boys, no girls. And my oldest.
Hold on, wait. I don't want to interrupt, but you just said 2 things. You just said you got up at 4 to have breakfast with your dad.
Every day.
I wish my kids would get up in the morning with me. I got to drag about the bed. And then you said 7 boys?
7 boys. I'm the youngest of 7.
I got 4 and I don't know how I do it. All right, I digress. Go ahead back to your story. I apologize.
No,
but
okay.
Those 2 things, I was like, wow.
Well, not make matters worse, but to increase the population in our small duplex of 1,100 square feet, my oldest brother got married and his wife moved in with us as well.
Man.
And then they had their first kid.
And they were there too.
We were still in the first house.
Wow.
So my dad never skipped a beat, never said, you got to go get your own job. You got to provide your own family. He flat out was like, all right, cool. You here? We taking care of the mountain? No problem. Boom. Let's work. So to me, it was like, let's just work. We're the men of the house. Our job is to provide. Women and men are equal, equitably speaking, but there is more responsibility on a guy, on a man. Right. It is what it is, and that's fine. So because that responsibility is on us, I have the responsibility to give my son chicken nuggets for 99 cents. If I can't provide that, then I am not fulfilling my duty as a man, especially as a father, right? So to me, what that looks like is just providing food, shelter, water, clothing. I'm not talking about yachts and boats and trips and, name brand clothing. No, I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm saying the bare basics. And to me, whether it's a chicken nugget from McDonald's or a chicken nugget from Murray's, I don't care where it is from, it's food. Okay. It's relatively cheap. And my son wanted it and I couldn't provide it. That's it. It's one thing if I didn't have 99 cents in my car, but I had it at the bank. I had it nowhere. Where'd I have it? Had it on my wrist, on a several $100 watch. I had it on my rims of my car. Had it on a $50,000 luxury car. I had $4,000 tires and I had $2,000 watch. And I had a custom-made suit. I had it.
Wait, so you had all of that,
Yeah.
but didn't have 99 cents?
Yep, because I fell into the trap of what people thought was successful.
So I'm hoping people will really pay attention to that portion. You've said some great things, but I think that is, and again, this could turn into a whole nother episode, and I'm sure I'll be bringing you back for one. But the choices you were making, like you said, $700 watch, but can't give your kid $1. Like, I don't think people grasp that that's actually happening right now with men and even women, but even more so, I do believe, with men in society all the time. You want to look this part, but aren't doing what's absolutely necessary. And then you're struggling in the spots that should be secure.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. When you said you're 99 cent, I didn't think it was because you were with all of that. I thought you just didn't have 99 cent and were struggling.
I was dumb. I was done with my money.
Wow.
I was legitimately financial illiterate.
So when you switched and made your move, did that figure in? Like, did you have to say, okay, I don't need to focus on all these material, flashy items. I need to go back and refocus, not just on my mindset of selling and making and with the business, but also how you conducted yourself with your money.
Oh yeah. When I talk about mindset, it's not just a pocket of this part of the business. I'm talking about, it was a legit reboot, Control Alt Delete in my brain, blew everything, right? Excuse me. It was a whole thing. It was how do I parent? How am I being a brother to my siblings? How am I being a son to my parents? How am I being an uncle? How am I being a cousin? How am I being an employee? It was a legit total wipe.
Wow.
It was a total wipe of everything. I questioned everything in my life. When that moment happened, I didn't just question what kind of father am I. I questioned, if I'm screwing the most important job I have right now, which is providing for my son, what else am I screwing up on? Am I not realizing it? Am I not being a good son? Am I not being an amazing uncle to my nieces and nephews? Am I being a horrible brother? Am I being a bad Muslim? What else? I have to now look at it. That's such a big key. So if I'm missing the biggest piece in my life, what other quote unquote minor things am I not paying attention to?
Wow.
So it was it wasn't just finances. It was a full blown reset, my man. A full blown reset.
That ties right into that phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything.
That's
so
right.
You realized I got to reboot everything.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm not saying I got it on the first try. I mean, I screwed up multiple times, but that goes back to the pillars, right?
Yeah.
You're going to screw up. You go back and you adjust, you take the action and you adjust if it doesn't work the way you thought, and you got to take accountability.
Wow. So do you teach this? Obviously, I know you teach this mindset, but what about, do you translate this down to your sons? Like, do you translate this over now so they don't have to have the same missteps you did?
I can translate it, but if they're not willing to accept it, that's on them.
Okay.
They're still teenagers.
Yeah, for sure.
A teenager, we were there at one point in time.
Yeah.
So we get what it was like. I just had a conversation literally yesterday with my son. I said, I know you're not going to listen to me. And I know you're looking at me like, Dad, you old. You don't understand what I'm going through. I understand you're saying that because I said the same thing to my pops and to my older siblings. But I'm still going to tell this to you. What I want for you is for you not to struggle as hard as I struggle. So just trust me. Any information you get from me is information so you don't have to trip as much as I tripped. Now, if you want to take it, that's on you. If you don't, that's on you. But letting you know, I'm here for you. And if you can ask me anything you want. But I'm pretty sure about 40% is going to go out your ear. You'll probably retain 60% of this if I'm lucky on a good day.
If you're lucky, it's 60.
If I'm lucky. So do I give it to them? Yeah. If they take it, that's on them.
Okay.
It's not my job to make them happy. It's my job to make them happier.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
Right? So that's the same concept. That's what I use with my wife, my relationship. Same with my kids. I love my kids. I'll do whatever I can to protect them. But if they don't want to listen, then go learn the hard way. I'm here for you. I got the Band-Aid.
Right. True story. Wow. So do you think that what you teach, and not even like your whole scenario, what you teach as far as the investing, what you teach as far as the mindset, is that what do you think that society would be like if more people thought that way? Because you know me, my thing is trying to make men the best version of themselves, because that's the impact we can have on society.
Yeah.
So like with you, do you think that's something you could actually help with implementing and it would make a difference? And how do you think it would make a difference?
I have implemented it to other people, and I know it's made a difference. I'll give you several examples. I have one gentleman who signed up thinking he wanted to be a real estate investor, right? So he signed up. I have online courses you can take, and then I have the one-on-one courses, the customizable ones. And he was like, I'm going to be a real estate investor. And within the first 10 minutes, I told him, I said, my man, you are not going to be a real estate investor. No. I was like, no, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you're not here for that. You're here for something else. And he was like, no. I said, okay. So he signed up. It's been 2 years, give or take. He's yet to not do one thing in real estate at all. However, he has started his own business and it's thriving like never before.
Wow.
So he reached out to thank me. He said, you're absolutely right. How did you know? And I said, I don't hear people. I listen to people. And I look at your body language. I look at everything and I can tell what you're willing to receive or not.
Yeah.
And I knew you didn't do real estate, and you gravitated towards me because of the energy I put out, and we have a similar energy.
Right.
And it was being an entrepreneur. So you can still take what I'm teaching of you, the discipline aspect of that, or the MDTA method in general. I apply it to real estate and I teach it to that, but you can apply it to any business. And so he was one of the first people I was like, let me just go ahead. And so he did it. And he's like, now he does several businesses and he's thriving and all. He's getting married soon, stuff like that. I got invited to the wedding. And so I'm like, this is amazing. I'm so happy for you. So I know it's making an impact. And to take it a step further, he's a big man of Christ. He's a huge Christian.
Okay.
And so for him, he was kind of like, hey, guess what? I now go to church every single Sunday. I now volunteer at my church. And I now make time. Before it was like, you know what? I don't feel good today. I'm not going to go to church. I'm tired right now and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, listen, I got to go to church. I have to go. It's part of the discipline.
Right.
It's part of the time management. So now he goes to church every single day. He volunteers for this and he does this and donates that, does all these different things. It was all of the discipline that he needed to find in the mindset more than anything else. So I know it makes a difference. I absolutely know it makes a difference.
So give me the example where you use that mindset. I'll let you pick where, but in something outside of business, whether it be health, spirituality, relationships. Give me an example of a change you made based off that mindset in one of those areas.
Health.
Okay.
Health. All right. So, like I said, I'm 49 years old. I was 40 plus, actually I'm 60 plus pounds overweight. Not like 2-3 years ago. And I would go to the gym. I did all the fad diets, right? Keto, paleo, Mediterranean, all this kind of stuff. Did everything. And I would lose and see success. Short-term success though. And I was like, what's going on? Is it me? Maybe it's my hereditary traits, my hormones. I would use
all the excuses we have.
All the excuses we have, right? So I'm going to everything. And I'm just like, no, it's just me. It's me up here. I have to change that. And I was like, you know what? If I make time to make an appointment, book an appointment, go here, go there, then I can make time for my health. And if I'm the boss, if I'm an entrepreneur, I don't know if I can say this, HNIC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, you can say that. And we all know what you mean.
Right.
We all know
right.
that.
If I'm supposed to be that man, then guess what? I'm making my schedule and I'm putting Jim into the schedule. You don't book an appointment Mondays, Thursdays, Tuesdays, Fridays, or Saturdays from this time to this time because I have an appointment. And the appointment is with me and my health.
Yes.
So I lift weights every Monday, Friday, and Saturday for 1 hour. And I box every Tuesday and Thursday. And Sundays and Wednesdays are my rest days. And I make sure I eat 1,500 calories per day for 1 week. And if I would do a deficit, I'm going down to 1,200 that 1 week. And I'm writing everything out.
Nice.
Simple as that. That's what I had to do. Now I'm down. I went from whatever it is, I'm like $190. Right? I still got another like 25 to go. Right? To be like, I'm 5'6". So according to the insurance charts, at 5'6", I should be about $165, $170.
Now listen to them charts.
Yeah, I know. But it is what it is. Right? Okay, fine. So I'm like, oh, it's a guide. It's a template.
No, I got you.
Right? So I'm like, hey, that's cool. So that's what I did. So that, again, mindset, Disciplining myself to, I would still get phone calls. Oh, you have a Zoom call at 9 o'clock? No, I don't. The hell I do. You're going to be Zooming by yourself. I ain't going to be there. Right. And they would try it, man. Let me tell you, they would try it. Oh, this day. Like, nope. Reject, decline, reject. But what? Nope.
And you know what's funny? It's pretty much, it's when I'm listening to you, it's simple, actually. It's not even hard. Like, you decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this. And then everything else just naturally falls around. Like, you made your schedule. I work out this time, these days. Everything else just will still fit around it. Yeah. And it feels like, myself included and others, like, because of what we see as the urgent piece, which usually isn't the most important piece.
Correct.
We will move everything around to fit other people. Like you said, they'll still try to send you Zooms. They still want you to come to these meetings. You're like, nah, my health is a top priority. So nothing gets in that way. And, I think about that with relationships. You have to make your significant other one of those top priorities. You have to make your kids one of those priorities that everything else that tries to fit in those times can.
Yeah.
Like me, I ain't gonna lie. Like, very seldom will you catch me at 8:30 or 9 o'clock on the phone. To me, that's the time I put my kids to bed. Me and my wife spend our hour together before we go to sleep. It's very regimented. And some people are like, you go to bed early. I'm like, no, I cut off early. I don't go to bed that early.
That's right.
So it's important. So we are running out of time, but I did want to say, I'm going to take some stuff out of this. I already knew I was, but now I got some new things I'm about to jot down. But I did want to say thank you so much for coming on. So, two things. One, why don't you give them your contact info?
Sure.
How they can reach you, how they can dive into you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Instagram is the best. So at the Navid Moosa. That's the best way to get a hold of me right there. If you want to go to navidmoosa.com for other stuff, that's fine. But Instagram, I'm active on there.
Okay, perfect. Yep. And lastly, I wanted to say thank you for coming on. And as we do here, I want to present you with an honorary Forge t-shirt.
I appreciate
that.
So
there's a gift from us. Thank you so much for your time. And again, wear that with pride, and we'll be happy to see you wearing that.
I definitely will.
But again, thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing these nuggets and these gems with us. I know people got something out of this because I know I definitely did. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you big time, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. Good thing. Thank you all for tuning in again today. Prepare to be forged. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed this last episode. If you have, please check back and check our previous episodes. Also, make sure you watch it, make sure you like it, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here at The Forge Focus, we just want to make sure that we're sending out positive vibes and great information from men in the community who can affect it and affect society as a whole. So again, please stay tuned. We got some more great things coming up for you. Prepare to be forged.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and, more importantly, learned something that can affect your perspective on yourself and manhood as a whole. If you have found the value that we expect that you did, we encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button and share this video. Spread the word and tell anyone in your life who can benefit. We'll see you on the next episode. Prepare to be forged.